I was lucky enough to be a kid that grew up on the original Star Wars trilogy, and I loved it enough as a toddler that I taught myself how to rewind the VCR so that way I could rewatch from the beginning whatever Star Wars film was in there on my own accord. That's how much, as a kid, I loved Star Wars. So when Ubisoft reached out and asked if I wanted to partake in the remote preview event for Star Wars Outlaws, that was the easiest and fastest yes I could have ever given anyone. So this is a first look at Star Wars Outlaws. Welcome back to my corner of the internet. I am so excited to show you this incredible game set in the Star Wars universe. Well, we aren't playing a character that's learning how to use the Force for either good or nefarious purposes. We are getting to dive headfirst into the criminal world. Star Wars Outlaws is an open-world, single-player game that is set in between the events of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. In this game, you'll explore distinct locations across the galaxy, like Toshara, an arid moon located in the Toshal system, which is considered the gem of the underworld, and Kijimi, a frigid, mountainous planet we first saw in The Rise of Skywalker. In this game, you play as Kay Vess, a thief from Canto Bright looking to make a new life for herself and her best friend and one of the most adorable animals in the Star Wars universe, Nyx, a Mirqual. In this game, you explore, sneak, and fight your way through different jobs bouncing around multiple planets. During this remote preview event, I was able to dive into about 3-ish hours of gameplay. Most of the gameplay was on Toshar and some of it was on Kijimi. Before we dive in, this is the part where I'm warning you there's going to be some spoilers. So if you're trying to avoid the spoilers, check the description below. There'll be some timestamps so that way you can click and avoid the story spoilers. And if you don't care, proceed with caution. As a reminder, this is not the final product. This was early look at the game. Things may change, graphics may look different, who knows? Just want to remind y'all. At the start, we got to experience some of the speeder mechanics. We then ride through the environment to get through Mirogana, a city on Toshar that is considered Pike territory. Here, we are introduced to the Pike Syndicate and Crimson Dawn, two of the criminal syndicates that you will have to interact with throughout the story, and each are not new to the franchise either. The first mission we played is to get into one of the leaders of the Pike Syndicate's exclusive rooms to help fix the ship you allegedly stole, the Trailblazer. When that doesn't quite go as planned, you meet Donka, who offers work,
getting some vital info from the Pikes.
After doing that, we are introduced to a member of Crimson Dawn that seems to be our main contact with them. And this is where we find out that Kay has a bounty on her head. For the last bit, we got to experience flying into Kijimi and part of Kijimi City, which is run by the Ashiga clan. If they don't sound familiar to you, that is okay. They were made specifically for this game. From the little bit of story that we were able to gather, we came to this planet in order to look for the best safecracker in the galaxy, whose name is Ankh, and they happen to be in a whole lot of debt. Once landed, we did get a sense of Ashiga's distaste for Crimson Dawn. Going further into this mission, we found out Ankh has gotten in trouble with the Ashiga and now needs to be broken out of jail. So, of course, things are not going as planned. And at this point, that's all I know of the story. That's all I managed to get to. So we're gonna move on to gameplay. Gameplay-wise, at times, it felt like Metal Gear Star Wars, where we were sneaking around quite a lot for the mission I completed. I did end up utilizing Nyx a lot. Our little buddy was a great distraction, door opener, and got me quite a lot of loot pickpocketing from stormtroopers. Additionally, I got to experience one of the most, in my eyes, important parts of this game. And that is you can pet Nyx. And yes, Nyx deserves all the pets all the time for being the bestest and cutest. The gunfights were enjoyable when they did happen, though I silly goosed my way into a few, and unsurprisingly to me, I loved flying and fighting in the Trailblazer. Flight controls felt natural to me, and overall the controls were smooth, though I was playing on an Xbox controller. We did get to see a little bit of how the reputation system works in this game. So we saw how your interactions with each of the syndicates can improve their view of you, or make them dislike you more and make things a little bit more difficult. With Star Wars Outlaws being so open world, it was easy for me to get a little distracted and a little lost at times. I did need to be guided back to the mission area. There also are mini games that you can play. The one I played during my time with the game was a horse betting one, which wasn't too much of a mini game. Plus, as already confirmed, Sabacc, or rather Kessel Sabacc, can be played. So as someone who tends to get sucked into card games, like when I played Witcher 3, and then I think I lost maybe 30 hours to just playing the card game in that game, I'm very much looking forward to playing every chance I can get when this game comes out. With graphics and sound, it did feel like you were in the Star Wars universe. I enjoyed the music. I loved how it added to the game. I also love the attention to detail the team has put into a lot of the environments and also incorporating the already written lore and not rewriting a bunch of things. And I did appreciate how they balanced a lot of the older lore and things that have been around for a while with some of the newer stuff that came out with the newer movies. Also the TV series, because there's stuff that initially was first found in books and TV. This adventure into the Star Wars universe looks absolutely amazing, and I am so excited to play it and experience the entirety of the story the team has brought to life. So I cannot wait to dive back into the Star Wars universe at the end of August. If you are interested in buying this game, you can get it on PlayStation 5, Xbox, or Ubisoft Connect. The base game is priced at $69.99. You can get the gold edition for the game for $109.99. And for $129.99, you can get the ultimate edition. All of those prices are in USD, by the way. Another way to play is to get Ubisoft Plus, which is a subscription service. You can play day one if you subscribe for $17.99. Also USD. This game is also rated T for Teen. Thank you for watching this video, and also thank you Ubisoft for letting me be part of the remote preview event. I had a blast. The person that I worked alongside with, who guided me, who made sure that I stayed mostly on track and was there to answer my questions, was also absolutely wonderful, so thank you for that. I left that event wishing I was being able to play more of that game immediately, and I am so excited to play this game. So if you made it this far, maybe you should hit the subscribe button, because I'll have more videos about Star Wars Outlaws, more videos about other games coming out. If you're interested in maybe seeing some live gameplay at the end of August, you should find me on Twitch, or find me now so you don't forget. Follow and come hang out as I play the game. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, commenting, all that stuff. And of course, may the Force be with you. Bye.
What did I get us into next? Let's just sneak out and find a floor plan, unseen. The next job will be better.
I don't mind having choice with the squad. As long as they obey orders.
Remember, the Pikes are our guests. There's no obligation to treat them as such.
Say again? I think my comms are busted.
Status report. Over.
Hello there. Welcome to the Trailblazer.
Yes.
Good cover.
You know, there's a reason this ship succeeds when others fail. You see this? That's reinforced Durasteel plating. And the deflector shields? They're well named because, they deflect. You understand, right?
Yes. Now about the shipment.
Here, it's easier to show you. Come inside.
Sector's clear.
Check out the laser cannons. That's a Dimec LC-50. Heard of it?
Governor's a busy man. You know the price for a Russian certification.
Gora is expecting his goods to